think I swallowed a bug. It's protein, right? I just put out a video on the Van Powers, a gravel electric bike, and I had a lot of fun on it. Well, let's turn that up to 11 because this is the brand new Cytron Infini X. It is a gravel bike, and some of you might say a true gravel bike because it actually uses drop bars, but we've got all the components of a good gravel bike. We've got 700C tires with tread on it. We've got a carbon fork, a full carbon frame, carbon seat post, carbon handlebars, basically carbon everywhere you can possibly look. And for a proper off-road trail ride bike, we have a mid-drive motor. And the battery, surprisingly, is quite large, well over 600 watt hours, which is really good for something that normally bikes put a battery, I feel like, half that size in when they're shooting for lightweight. Somehow they got all of this nice package, disc brakes and everything, into something that only weighs 43 pounds. So we've got power, we'll see how much in a moment. We've got the balance of the mid-drive. We've got the lightweight and the rigidity of a carbon frame. We've got disc brakes, really nice shifting gearing setup. What is this? This is a SRAM Apex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 speed. I mean, if we just had those features, this would be starting to look like a really cool bike. But on top of that, we have an integrated taillight, an integrated headlight, and 4K camera to record your rides, quad lock permanently mounted on the stem with wireless charging built in. So you're getting not only really good bicycle features, but you're getting some high-tech stuff thrown in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to hitting some trails with this bike today. There's a brand new company, brand new bike. It looks really good. I hope it's as good to ride. Because it does not have a throttle, I am gonna have to do a little pedaling test, kind of feel it out, kind of get a little bit of input in, and then do a second test and subtract my wattage and torque out of that number. So let's do that real quick. Looks like I'm getting better at this. I'm getting consistent. I usually get just under 250 watts or so, 11 or 12 pound-feet of torque. Eco, Tour, Sport, and Boost. We got 4 settings to choose from. Oh yeah. You just turned it away from my camera.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was...
You're in the video now. You're always trying to hijack my videos, Blake. That looks like some pretty good power numbers. If I go 1,000 minus 1,030, I mean, basically we're getting about 750 watts, probably maybe close to 800. And the torque did feel really good, 29 pound-feet. If I subtract the 12 approximately that I put in, gives us about 17. So I'm gonna give this a ballpark. It's always a guesstimate on these with no throttle of 17 pound-feet. And we're gonna say 800. Let's see where that fits in compared to other mid-drive bikes. It is gonna put it at the very bottom of the list. So 800 watts, 17 pound-feet. On torque, it's definitely the lowest, but they don't advertise it as nearly anywhere this much from what I recall. It might have had a peak of 600 something, but I think for a bike that's only 43 pounds, this is gonna perform really, really well. So I felt like to give this bike a proper shakedown ride, riding from the bike shop just wasn't gonna do it. I needed to take this thing to an actual trail somewhere. And what better place than Pioneer Trail, which is located in Nevada City, California, and is really one of the best trails anywhere in Northern California. I'm just lucky enough to have it in my backyard.
Now, I'll admit the battery I think is big enough on this bike that a typical rider probably could have just ridden up here to the trailhead, done a nice trail ride and back. It's a little bit far for me strength-wise, so I decided it would be better to drive up here and then just focus on the trail riding. So this is it. This is my first actual ride on this bike. First impressions are, one, that the bike definitely feels like it has power. I, surprisingly, have not even tried anything past eco mode yet. I popped it into the lowest power mode, and so far I've left it there. Now this is just a gradual climb uphill, and the bike, of course, is light, and the rolling resistance is low, but normally on a climb, I need more power than that. I think just the fact that I can get it into just the right gear, where I'm pedaling at a comfortable cadence, the fact that you've got this nice lightweight bike with a mid-drive is just kind of the perfect combo where you can ride this thing in a very low power setting and it's quite comfortable. Now, of course, the riding position is quite the opposite of anything upright. You are absolutely leaned forward, hunched over in a tucked aerodynamic position. And if you're a long time road biker, this is the position you're gonna be used to and feel comfortable with. I've mostly been riding with my hands either kind of on the top of the bars here or a little bit in the hoods, as they say. Let's try the drops a little bit. I do feel like I like the handling better in the drops. I feel like I'm in control a bit more, and I can still easily access my brakes and the shifter. Yeah, I'm not even gonna shift down for that little climb. I'm just gonna power up and over through it. I wasn't even thinking that I wouldn't have steep enough hills to try the power. Well, I guess let's bump it up one power setting. Okay, we're in Tour now. Oh, it's really moving now. Tour almost might be too much power for off-road. Now, this trail does have a lot of roots. It's a little bumpy. Definitely is something designed for a mountain bike, but this is what gravel bikes are made for. To go do the mountain bike trails anyway. There we go, now we got a little more of a climb. We're actually using the power out of this Tour mode. Let's see what it's like if we bump it up one more. So now we're in Sport. Okay, so Sport mode eats the hills up. And we still have one more power level. I'm gonna stop, lower the saddle just a hair. It's a workout. Let me take a quick breather, show you some of the things on the bike that I'm seeing. So here's your cockpit layout, if you will. Something that's unique to this bike for sure is the quad lock integrated into the stem. So if you put a quad lock mount on your phone, you can then just snap it right onto your handlebars and it can live right there. It's nice and secure. I've been riding with it right there this whole time and it hasn't moved at all. And if your quad lock case or mount has wireless charging ability, this stem has wireless charging built in. So you can keep your phone topped off from your e-bike battery. I am gonna have to open the app and figure out how to turn on the camera here, unless there is a button right here. If we just push it, will it start recording automatically? I don't know, there's nothing on the display. This is probably the most interesting spot for a display. It's tucked down on the frame. It's a little bit hard to look at because you have to really look down to see it here. But I think the idea is this bike is supposed to be very seamless, less like an e-bike and more like a bicycle that just happens to have a motor and a battery. I don't think they really want you or expect you to look at the display all the time. Although if you do want to, then of course you do have your phone mounted up on the bars you can open up the app, which why don't we go ahead and do that? Okay, so manually connect to the camera Wi-Fi. Okay, well, sure, let's do that. We're out in the woods, shouldn't be confused with any other Wi-Fi signals out here. There we go, look at that. This is the bike's camera. So just for the sake of testing camera quality, this is footage on the bike's internal camera, and this is footage from my 360 camera. We'll see how that looks. So you don't have much in the way of buttons on this. You know what? Now that we have the camera on, can I push this camera button? Oh, sweet. So there's a button right over here that has a little camera symbol. You click that. So hold it down to start recording, and then I can just tap it and it will stop recording. How cool is that? It's like a built-in dash cam. It does look like you do have to have your phone hooked up and synced for that function to work though. I think I mentioned the headlight, but if I didn't, yes, there's a headlight right underneath the camera there. And then on the side here, we have some USB ports, so you could plug in your device as well. It's quite the high-tech bike. It's got an alarm built in. I'll be honest, I don't know how the alarm works yet because the alarm goes off when I move the bike, even if I take the battery out. Where's the extra power coming from? I don't know yet. SRAM, hydraulic brakes, disc brakes, I mentioned already, but 12-speed drivetrain, running very nice Continental Terra Trail tires. Loving these so far. And the motor is from Ananda. So far it's very quiet and it's very smooth. I'm actually quite impressed by the amount of power that it's making on even the lower power modes. It feels really, really easy to pedal this thing up these hills. And I'm thinking, because of the low rolling resistance, I should just absolutely fly on the way back down. So your brake levers for the hydraulic brakes are here and here. And this is a first for me, this particular shifter setup, the SRAM Apex. It's a single click to shift one way, and then 2 clicks to shift the other way. It's just a single lever. So really the bars are very minimalistic, more minimalistic than most other bikes I've ever seen. And I like that. All right, time to put in a little more riding. Oh yeah, sport mode is really nice and powerful. All right, let's get down into the drops here. Yeah, a little bit better with this seat. Touch lower. Got a little more room to maneuver now. I never thought I would say this, but it's got one more power level and I don't even know if I need it. Now it might be if we head this way, we'll start to go down off the side of this little canyon here, and then I can get a better feel for not only the brakes going down, but maybe I'll have to use a little more power going up. So here's a little bit of a climb, and yeah, I mean, realistically, sport mode is enough, but I'm gonna put it in boost and see what it does. Just makes it a little easier. Wasn't like a dramatic change from sport to boost. It makes it very easy on flat ground. So far, the bike is very quiet. You've got that light, high-pitched whine from the mid-drive when you're under power, totally silent when it's off, and no rattling noises at all from the bike. I do find the brake levers a little out of reach if I have my hands on the hoods on top. Definitely designed more to have your hands on the drops. Yeah, boost mode is like too much power climbing up these hills. Okay, now that I go back to eco, I'm like, ooh, It's not very much power. But since it's a mid-drive, let me just shift all the way down and see if I just slow down, could I still comfortably climb up this hill in eco? And looks like the answer to that is yes. If I just gear it down and just keep my legs moving, I can just crawl right up this hill, even in the lowest power mode. You only really need the higher power settings if you just want to go faster. Now, I don't want to wear myself completely out. So even though I could do this in eco, I'm going to bring it back up to sport mode. That way I'm not out here all day long. And I only say that because I don't actually know where I am right now. I'm on a trail somewhere. I know there's a bug in my eye. That's what I know. I figured I wouldn't need glasses because it'd be dark and I wouldn't be going very fast, but I guess I was wrong about that. What I was going to say is I know the main road is that way. You start flying in sport mode as soon as it flattens out. Handling wise, stability wise, the bike feels really nice. Good compromise between stability and maneuverability. You got to keep in mind that bikes with drop bars like this, the bars really are quite narrow. So they've really got to be designed properly to handle trail riding like this and maintain, you know, control. Let's try this way. Oh, I've been here before. I'm not lost. Well, let's turn around. That's no fun. It rolls so nice. Effortless. Just the slightest downhill and it just goes. No pedaling, no motor. It just rolls. I do love that about a good 700C tire bike. Nope. So far, everyone I've seen has been on a mountain bike. I'm starting to get more and more comfortable with the handling and the off-road kind of agility of the bike. Feeling like I could go a little bit faster in the rough stuff. My camera mount is about to break. This was about to fall off. That would have not been good. Now there's one thing that's missing from this bike, it's my opinion, is a throttle. Now I've ridden a couple of bikes recently that had reasonably low power outputs, were very lightweight, and I felt like no throttle on those was the right choice. I'm gonna slightly disagree on this one. I think, yes, you can ride this bike without a throttle. It's so light, it rides really nice. It rolls so well. Do you really need one? No. But here's why I'm gonna say it could have one. Or maybe it should have one. I think the motor has enough power that it can handle it. So if it could do it, why not? We're moving now. Oh, definitely hit the max speed limit there. I felt the speed limit just cut off the power. This would make a great class 3 bike. It's got the power for it. Oh no, I lost my little rubber that goes over the camera button. That's sad. I'll put up on screen right now what the pre-order price is for this bike, because I know it's under $3,000, and I think for what you're getting, it's really quite a nice bike. This is a very high quality, like top-notch bicycle, good quality components. I'm very impressed with everything that's on it. I don't know if there's anything really that needs to be changed or adjusted. The throttle thing is just my own opinion, like, hey, why not put one on there because you can? But I'm very happy with the performance of the motor. Frame felt solid, geometry felt solid. All the integrated smart features, seems like everything works just fine. I don't really have any complaints about it. I mean, that was, I was really wearing myself out, or trying to. Battery's only down to 86%. Battery life on this thing is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be excellent. I am actually amazed they put this big of a battery into a bike this light. If you know of a bike that's lighter than 43 pounds with a battery that's bigger than this, let me know, because I don't know of one.